But it's still the blog that has been read the most, and it was about robots. And I kind of gave the analogy of if we had 1,000 tennis-playing robots, and we programmed them that they could only play with another robot if the robot was better than them. Yeah, it was impossible for them to do it unless the other robot was better than them. So they approached the robot. Will you play with me? No. Why not? Because you're not as good. Okay. Somebody comes to me. Will you play with me? And I go, no. Why not? Because you're not as good as me. No, none of the robots could play with each other. It's against their programming. And I see this a lot. So this is something we can definitely help with as parents. We can encourage our children to play tennis with anyone, because there are 3 types of pressure on the match court. So I think I heard the word from both, so I don't mind saying it. There's the pressure of being the favourite. Yeah, and there's also the pressure, and so less pressure for being the underdog. And that's the reality, but they just look at the score. It's a tangible thing. And that's one of the reasons that if parents are not helped, you will hook on the tangibles, and the tangibles either are the hierarchical measurable things like rankings, ratings, score, seedings, county selection, all that kind of stuff. So we need to check ourselves. It's like what's the check yourself before you wreck yourself. You need to check yourself constantly as a sporty parent to not get sucked into that. And you'll fail sometimes. I'll fail with my 6 and 3-year-old. I 100% will fail because the competitor in me, yeah, it's one set all by the way, will fail. He will become desperate. My competitor, my monkey or my chimp, if you like, will become desperate to win, not determined to win. So, this one, what's the kind of pressure in the middle when it is what? How would you describe it? So we've got favourite, underdog, and then there's another pressure when they are or when it's going to be what? Close or even. Yeah? This is, without doubt, the highest pressure. Robot, programmed, only play with you if you're better than me, because that's the only way I can get better is by playing with people that are better than me. Surely. There's logic to that statement. He hits the ball harder than me. If I play with him, I'll get used to receiving the ball hard. If he's really good and I play a shot that would be a winner against him, but he gets that ball back, then I'll get better by playing against them. Yeah, that's great if you want to just play as an underdog the whole time. So, solution, allow our children to play with every player possible so they get practice at duffing people up when they're the favourite. Yeah, they might even practice game styles or skills that they don't normally play when it's even. Because that's when you want them to play their A game. Yeah, when it's even, of course you want them to play their A game here, but they can probably get away with being their B or C game. Yeah, and then if they've got no pressure on them, they might play A plus game here. So it would be interesting if they can learn some skills from there to actually go A plus when it's even. Yeah, so it's really a lot of this perspective stuff will just keep coming back. And I kind of didn't refer to the model. I'll do it a little bit later on. But those 4 things that you've got on your sheets, they cannot be talked about in isolation. They just overlap and intertwine all the time. Yeah. So what we want to try and focus on is love, self-love, right? So what I mean by that is, like philosophically, not even philosophically, scientifically now, people would say that if you don't love yourself, you're not going to be able to love other people. Yeah. Now, we're not talking about love. We're talking about just confidence, self-esteem, self-worth. Yeah, that's the important thing for children, because they will compare. And this is the thing that a lot of parents, when I first started speaking about this, were like, yeah, whatever. I genuinely believe this because I see it all the time. If we can find a way of encouraging our children to help other children, then I think the bar will be raised really high. Because I remember countless times at British Nationals in August, down in Bournemouth, where inevitably the top seeds lose quite early because they've had a summer of travelling internationally, and then they put the most important event on at last thing, and they're all burnt out. So quite often they go out, the top seeds go out really early in Nationals, first or second round, because they're just goosed. And all the kids are running about going, oh, have you seen him? He's 4-1 down in the third set. Yeah, and I'm like, why are you happy? Why are you happy somebody's losing? Have you ever beat that guy? No, he kicks my ass. I went, so you're happy as somebody's kicking your ass is losing. That is absolute nonsense. It just reduces the bar. Yeah, we could try and get them to be encouraging, want the best for each other, and that is purely utopian. But if I had the ability to change everyone in the world with the click of our fingers into being this, I think a lot of the solutions in the world would be solved. Kind. Yeah, it sounds a bit romantic, doesn't it? If I could make everyone in the world kind, I think a lot of the problems would be solved. Because people are not kind to each other because they're worried about all this hierarchy. I can't be kind to you because that'll make you go up, and then, the gap gets bigger and so on. I can't help, like in business. I own a business, and you want me to try and actually help my competitor get more money. Yeah, because that'll help you. The best companies in the world are the ones that have the strongest competitors. Yeah, so Apple and Microsoft, they push each other up. If Apple didn't exist, Microsoft would be dominant, they get complacent, etc., etc. We need as many people to compete against, so let's want the best for them. Let's get them playing with each other in practice, training, and matches.